guys? Welcome to C's Get Degrees. This is Chad here. We're actually in episode 3 or 4, whatever it is. So multiple parts here talking with Jim. Obviously, you guys know on the part 1 of this, we're actually very good friends. But we broke it down to business is such a easy but yet complex thing. So I have a specialty of taking a very complex thing and making it simplistic from my previous jobs I had. Obviously, he's very smart. You didn't really come up with much, so you went through the hard school of hard knocks. But we have the ability to look at a complex topic and break it down to layers and kind of peel away and peel back, and then hey, we have 10 layers. All right, cool. Focus down on lower layers. All right. Now we're down to 2 or 3. Now we can get the focus. So layer 1 was the big one. That one was mindset, direction, goal setting, all that stuff. Layer 2 is going to be, I'm going to say leverage here. We can go different direction with leverage. Leverage can be financial. Leverage can be physical. Leverage can be mindset. So the big thing with mine is, and I'm going to break it down to business. He's going to do more financial because he has more of the physical real estate to kind of go that way. Being mental with leverage. Okay, my number one thing with leverage, guys, is know your value. If you have an idea, you have something that's going to benefit a company, do not come up and say, hey, I want $100,000. I'm going to save you $1 million. Don't do that. Leverage is taking something that you're very, very good at it, get very, very good at it, and do it for free for a long time until people are coming at you. Then you know you have it. So it goes back to the old school rules back in the day with the Romans and long time ago. Those who have the gold have the leverage and make the rules. So instead of looking at your gold and say, hey, I want, a little piece of chunk, figure out a way to navigate through that map, navigate your goals, navigate whatever. Go grab the whole fucking pot of gold and then disperse it back. And it's not a controlling thing. It's not that. It's go find the gold, turn around, help people out, do good with the gold. Don't get real ruthless with it. But the big thing is, I break it down to mine thing. I had a big drinking problem for 20 plus years. I'm 34 years old, so that goes to age 13, 14. Yeah, we all know that. I did that with previous podcasts. In order for me to be fully focused on something, I had to get rid of something to bring something in. For me, it was changing my bad habits. Obviously, clean my head, whatever. Your brain is the number one most important tool to feed good. I physically work out about half hour a day, if not 45 minutes a day. I try to get my head as clean as possible. I try to eat the best food possible. The reason for this is I mentally need to outwork everyone that's around me. Good or bad, obviously, yeah, I said I'm going to be positive with it. I'm not going to be negative or anything, but your brain is the most cost-effective, cheapest tool you can have for leverage that you physically need to keep clean. Mind you, that's physical work. So if you're more in shape, like I said, deep down, my mentality is I'm going to be more in shape. I'm going to eat a lot more cleaner. Mind you, there's going to be a lot of people that are way more ahead on the physical side of it. I got family members that lift weights and they've been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years plus, and they're very good at it. So I need to work hard and learn from them and kind of level yourself up. Go from level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. You're not better than anyone. It's not that. It's life is steps climbing to the top. So you start at level 1, start at level 2, go to level 3, go whatever. Don't use people. Bring value to the people at the next level of the step. You go to step 4, you bring level to the person at step 4. You go to step 5, you bring value to the person at step 5. That is more, goal setting. That's more mental game of leverage. Big thing is know your value. and know that the companies need you, not you need the companies. I work in a mill full time. They don't need me. That fucking machine's gonna work without me. So for me, I'm there to pay my bills. I know my I know my role when I'm there. I have zero leverage with them because why? I'm gaining leverage outside of work, doing stuff for my personal brand. The hashtag Chad M. Smith at Instagram, that's my personal brand. So I put all my focus on my leverage outside of work. Jim goes into more real estate leverage. So
yes, exactly. No, I agree 100% with what Chad just was going. I mean, in leverage, you need, I'll just make it easy. Basically, you need to leverage all the 5 senses of the body. And obviously, like you said, brain number one. Along with that, your best asset across the board, this can be controversial, but your best asset across the board is your confidence. Your confidence in you, your confidence in who you are, your confidence in what you can do, your confidence in where you can go, your confidence in where you will go, your confidence in where others can see to follow you in your train of path. That speaks volumes for you. You need to build that. I need to build that. We all do. And then go, back into leverage. That confidence can go wherever, from seeing the dream at the third step of the rung, and then having it accomplished at the 8th step of the rung on the ladder, climbing up. Then we have leverage in business, and back to leverage in real estate. Back when I was a young boy, I was born in Texas. Dad got a transfer job to Chicago. Grew up there till I was 8 years old. Dad got transferred to Detroit, to the ghetto side, and he didn't feel like raising some good, handsome boys in that part of town, so he turned it down. We ended up in rural northwestern Wisconsin. Great place to be. I learned school of hard labor, as well as some business tactics and techniques. Well, then that's where my leverage came in. And, leveraging, then I started working on the side for a big investment businessman. And Dr. Sood, he came over from India when he was 23 years old with not a dollar to his name. He started in the agricultural, and he went up. He went into cars. He leveraged that out. He went into real estate, leveraged that out. Now he owns post office buildings and Social Security buildings and government properties in 17 states. They're all leveraged out. One technique, and he taught me that benefits everybody, back to the real estate leverage, is when you own it completely outright, your property, say my farm, say Chad's farm, you own that completely out, say $400,000 farm, just to give you an average number. With that, that $400,000 is dead weight asset that's not bringing any return other than appreciation on the farm, which can be a good amount, substantial, as the inflation and as the economy goes. But aside from that, Dr. Sood taught me the very valuable asset. He steered me towards Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger's book of The Making of a Capitalist. Very good book, interesting book about leverage. And so you start leveraging out your real estate properties. You take the bank that's more than willing to loan you money when you have basically meet all the good requirements, which isn't that hard to do, and you start leveraging out your property. You take their money, you play the game you take their money, you follow their rules, and you play the game your way, and everybody gets a piece of the pie. The bank gets their interest money and their payments. You get the appreciation, and you get the acquisition of more real estate. And you just grow. Everybody's happy at the end of the day, and you have the biggest piece of pie. And you can just grow just phenomenally, well over paying your first farm off and then saving up money to buy the next farm. You have that leverage effect. And I'm
going to stop him here for 2 seconds and kind of break it down to common sense side of it. So it's pretty common sense. This is kind of heavy, but we're going to use this for example here. So I have street math. He has street math. We're very at a good level for math. You have $1,000. Okay? You have $1,000 worth of land, anything hard that you own. Let's just say you have a 1 acre lot for $1,000. Okay. When that's paid off, you have $1,000 on the books. But the biggest thing is you have the appreciation and you have the taxes. So your expenses are going to be your taxes every year. Pay them, people, pay them. On the asset side of it, you have appreciation, which is, government, inflation, all that stuff. Also, the bank's going to look at is you have a piece of land which is worth $1,000. Okay.
That's never going to leaving this earth.
Yeah, never going to leave this earth. The thing with leverage is, let's say you want to go buy another 1,000. So the basic thing is the bank's going to allow a typical conservative bank. I'm going to say conservative, not red or blue, just very asset friendly or lending friendly, just very not loose, just very, very tight with their money. Will borrow what, 50% of it?
You could go 50% on that. If it has a house on it, they can go up to 82 to 85%, 70 to 85% with a residential house.
So
about 50%, a good 50% on the lot.
So you pull that out. So now you go buy another 1,000. So on the books you have 2,000.
You have 2 lots for the price of one, and you make the payment.
Yeah. So you have $2,000. Obviously, you're gonna have expense of one loan. You're gonna have double the taxes, which it is what it is. And then if someone rents that $1,000, you have rent coming in. So that's real estate in a simplistic term, ain't it?
Correct. And you see, you got control of those 2 lots now, because before that, a lot doesn't always come up available very often. When it comes up available, you got control of that lot.
And the number one rule with the bank is they want something hard they can lock their money to. So you have $2,000 worth of leverage with the bank. That is what we're trying to break down with leverage on the real estate side of it, guys. It's pretty much you have what they want.
Correct. Exactly. And that's 100%. I mean, that's what I'm in the process of doing, which if I was way more dedicated, focused, and disciplined like I should be, and like I'm one of the most dedicated people is Warren Buffett. At 35 years old, the guy was worth $5 million. And he never robbed a bank. He did it with the leverage strategy. And year over year, he averages 19% return on investment continually. Back to the leverage. So, I'm more or less getting ready to leverage for more lots, for more real estate, back into the business, leverage that, back into the digital part. We're going to be leveraging that. I mean, all those aspects of life. Leverage it all out. And then the thing is, make it simple for yourself. Don't let it be complex. I've had some of my life, from my office work all the way down to my regular, the physical job. It hasn't been as efficient as it could be. Make it efficient for yourself. Make it easy for yourself. The most part of a guy's, middle years is working. You know what? You need to love your job. And if you don't love your job, change your job.
Yeah, good thing. We're going to add these topics in here. So if you're we're going to go a little left field here, and the reason is it brings up another topic that we were talking about earlier with this. Jobs, guys. Let's just start with the 4-letter word, jobs. Jobs. Let's do on the negative side of it. And I'm going to throw a previous employer under the bus, and I really don't care anymore because I don't work there anymore. I learned some good things. I learned some bad things. If you're worried about waking up in the morning and your fucking bosses with an S, and I'm not throwing names in because we had multiple ones here, are more concerned with what your Facebook profile is or what your Instagram account is, what your LinkedIn account is, if you feel deep down that account you have is you to a T, that's your brand, that's what you're doing, that's your personal account, and you feel what is right, and they keep nagging on you every day of saying you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't not do that, do that. Let's get to the chase here and say, you're at the wrong place.
Correct, 100%.
You're at the wrong job, guys. And if you have to wake up and worry about, hey, what the fuck is my manager going to say tomorrow? Leave. There is millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of jobs and millions of money floating around, guys. What are they doing? They're going to print another $3 trillion. So go find something that pays your bills. It doesn't have to be right. Get uncomfortable. And take that access time that you have, which is leverage.
Yep.
Learn something new. Learn a new skill. Now, that skill becomes, repeatable. You get very good at it. Now you're 1-to-1 thing what you have. Now you're 2-to-1. Okay, you have another skill to add on top of that. You have 2-to-1. 2 skills to you. That's leverage, guys. It's what knowledge you have deep down, or what the knowledge or information or whatever you have that people want. Vice versa, what land you have the bank wants, and you sit back and you sit there and you design the game plan of them coming to you. I have knowledge for this. I'm not going for a little piece of the pie. I'm going for the full pie, and I'm going to let everyone around me come for the pieces of the pie. Your employees get a piece, you get a piece. 2 point, employees get paid first, you get paid last. But the big thing is, bank gets a piece, your tax guy gets a piece.
Yep.
Taxes gets a piece, you get a piece. So of that, and I'm just going to use this ratio for business, insurance, it's usually a 60-40 split. The boss man keeps 60, you keep 40. Okay. 25% or 40% taxes. Break it down. You're taking home 10% of what you sell. That's just how the game plays. Business is the same way. You don't do the job 100%. You have subcontractors helping you do the job. Mm-hmm. It's not what you can do. It's what 100 guys can do with you.
Exactly. I liked one time at a business meeting I was at. He says the 2 things that really stuck with me. One was, you don't need to do, and you should never try to do the work of 200 men. You should do the work that keeps and employs 200 men busy. Keeps 200 men busy, employs 200 men. Then you're doing the work. He says he would rather have one, or how should I explain this so it's easy?
One guy doing 100% of the work, or doing 100 guys doing
1% of the work. Exactly. Basically, he said, I'd rather have 100 guys be 1% efficient than myself being 100% work, because he says I will never be able to do 100%. So even if my guys are 15% inefficient, I'm way farther ahead with 100 guys at 15% inefficiency than I am with one man myself at 100% efficiency, which will never be steady.
And then you look at growth of it, so like leverage, so you gain 10% each year, so 100 guys,
more efficiency.
Yeah, next year you got 110 guys.
And then those guys will be more efficient too the next following year.
It's repeatable, replicatable.
Yes, and they get better with their job. They love their atmosphere, create a positive atmosphere and just leverage that against them. They're coming to you now, where you have a waiting list.
Yeah, and that goes to value and leverage. So this one's a little bit shorter, guys. Leverage is a tough beast. There's a lot of shit you're going to see on YouTube explaining leverage. It basically breaks down to this. There's physical leverage, there's mental leverage, there's your own personal self confident leverage. Even with your husband and wives, and be nice to each other, how I say this, guys, but in order to be a better person as a husband or wife, you got to leverage information. You got to study information. You got to do it more. You got to trust it. You got to go seek help. Whatever it is, you're leveraging that tool to help make you a better person. So that's the main key with leverage here. So, but yeah, no, this is episode 2, guys, with leverage. Part 2, of this one here with leverage. Episode 3, returning, talking about, what was it, strategies?
Exactly.
Strategies, and then we're gonna have a fun little one here. So we might do four episodes here. We'll see. We're just gonna turn the mics on, record, and just go from there. So, all right, guys. Thank you for visiting Seats Get Degrees. Go visit iTunes today. Download this episode, and down on the right-hand corner, please leave me a review on how good, how bad, how shitty, whatever. Make this fun and exciting, guys. Thank you.
Take care.